Welcome back, aliens. Today we are going to see the difference between if and a nested if. So if is used to check whether the condition is true or false. Nested if is nothing but having that multiple if conditions within that if. So that's what we call as a nested if, and we are just going to the difference between both of them. Okay, let's get into the video. Here I am having 5 columns: student and subject 1, subject 2, and subject and result. Okay, so I just want to fetch whether a student is passed in all the subject or not. So using that if condition, we can check a specific subject is passed or not. So I'm just mentioning that if conditions here. If a specific subject, and if it is greater than 50, let's make the subject as a pass, else fail. So this is how the if condition works. Here it's a fail because the subject marks is 40. Okay, so but I just want to check that the conditions for subject 2 and subject 3 as well. So at that time we can go for nested if. So having that multiple condition, and depending upon that we need some outputs, at that time we can go for nested if conditions. Okay, so this time I'm going for, okay, here I'm just adding the subject 1 alone. So I just want to two more conditions for subject 2 and subject 3. So at that time what should I do that? So first we should have a common example or common thinking point, then only we should go for adding that nested if. Otherwise that everything will be really confused. Okay, so in the first condition we are verifying that subject 1 is pass or not. If it is a fail, we don't need to go for the next conditions, right? Because already it got failed, so we don't need to verify subject 2 and subject 3. At that time directly the controller will return fail status. And if it is a pass, means if the subject 1 mark is a pass, at that time the second parameter will get executed. So here only we should add that one more condition with if. Okay, here instead of marking that as a pass, I'm just going to add a conditions here. How do I do that? The second condition I'm adding here with the same if and opening the bracket, and here I'm just adding that subject 2 as a primary field and checking that subject 2 whether it is greater than 50 or not. If it is a 50, then here I'm just adding a static field here, pass or fail. Okay, here I'm just specified two conditions. Outer condition is for subject 1, inner condition is for subject 2, but I am having one more subject called subject 3. At that time I should add one more condition. So at that time instead of mentioning the static text, I should add one more condition, and in this I need to specify the subject 3 it is greater than 50 or not. Okay, here I need to provide the true or false statements. Here I should not mention the static text value. The reason is that whatever providing that output, based on that only that outer if condition will return. Let's take pass. If you define a pass, you can define pass, okay, but if you define fail, let's check how it's behaving. It works. Okay, so let's check for other parameters. Here if you check that for 3 columns the data is returning as a pass. The reason is for those 3 rows, James, Tarun and Neka. So for these 3 students the marks all obtained greater than 50. So that's why the conditions are marked as a pass. So this will be very useful if you are doing any attendance based, or if you want to check with the multiple criteria. At that time you can go for nested if. Only thing that it will be little confusing, means if you are not understanding it properly. So for that only I'm saying you must segregate that functions. Means that outer layer is for that first if condition, second layer is for that second if condition, third one layer is for third if condition. So that's how you need to segregate that. Okay, I hope it helps you, and see you again with another interesting video.